Baked best ball. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Fantasy Fullback Dive, brought to you by the good people at the Roto Street Journal, paving your way to fantasy excellence, acting as your lead blocker for fantasy glory, making all your football-related fantasies come true. We're back. It's a Wednesday, 7 o'clock p.m. This is a live stream, and we're talking about best ball because you know the Wolf. The Wolf loves this stuff. I'm your host, Nat the Truth Jones. With me, as always, the aforementioned Wolf of Roto Street himself. You done any of these since we did our one, which, by the way, we both kind of love?
I loved it. And yeah, while we wait for this to fill, we could always kill the time by just looking at that team and breaking down what we did last time so we can compare how we do this time. I think that'd be a good way to kill the time. But have I done any? Come on, Nat. You know the answer.
It was a disingenuous question because you've sent me screenshots of multiple ones you've done.
Yes, exactly. I was going to say, my father used to call that when I was a young boy, questions we know the answers to.
Well, my son is the king of questions we know the answer to. He'll come in. I'll be listening to a podcast that it's like a 7-part podcast, and I'm on part 6. And so he's been there for the first hour and a half I've been listening to it. He'll just come in and I'm just listening to it, and he'll just look at me and go, listening to that podcast? I'm just like, you know damn well I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes it's okay to just say nothing.
Yes. Listen to that podcast. So I called that one Nat Beast Squad. So now I've realized it took me to the end of last year to realize you can name teams. So I've started to name them. So anytime it says Nat on there, we'll know it's one we did together. So I'll pull this up. Can you keep an eye on the other? Oh wait, I guess we can't keep an eye on it because
can't actually see them right now.
So can you see that full draft board that I just pulled up?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So this was the draft we did last time. We're still waiting it'll give us a little buzz, and my phone will buzz at me too.
Forgot we got Jamar I even forgot about that we picked Jamar Chase with the first pick. Man, this team's so good.
Exactly. Chase, and we talked about that last time, and maybe we'll run into it again. Receivers seem to go really, really fast, right? Like you notice that. I would have normally in a redraft probably gone McCaffrey, but we ended up going Chase. That's why I'm working on it. I know I said it last week, busy week this week at school, but I got to get an actual set of best ball rankings. I started to do it, and I'm almost done with it. So I'm going to get those up, just valuing the receivers, how fast they go. You got to play the market. That was the biggest mistake I think I made last year. I stuck too much to nope, I would have taken McCaffrey every single time here at 2, maybe even 1. And so we saw that, right? Yeah, Pollard, Derrick Henry. Look at that. I think going receiver, running back at the top like that is a unbelievable way to start a team.
Yeah, and that's why, in my opinion, especially upon reflection, hindsight's 20/20, but we end up with that running back core. I'm so glad we took Chase instead of McCaffrey.
Exactly. Then we get Hopkins at 47. Love that value. Got 4 more to start till the next one, by the way. So We're just killing time. Obviously, if you're live here, would help. That thumbs up button does help us get out to more people. Greatly appreciate it. But of course, even more important, get those questions on in. We can talk to you. Nat, I don't know if you don't mind keeping track if we have any questions coming in, because I have to keep the draft full screen, essentially.
I'll check it out. Yeah.
So yeah, just keep your eyes peeled. But I did love this move here when we went Herbert, and you were the one that pushed for that. I'm going to give you that credit.
Thank you. I also love that pick.
I really, really like that one, just because there is that drop off. We were talking about how yes, these early rounders, great, huge elite edges. It's a different game now. Fields and Lamar Jackson having the upside to match that. And then there's this tier of, I think, Burrow, Herbert, maybe Trevor Lawrence at the back end of that tier. I do think he could break out too. That could genuinely leap into that tier. And I think it's a big drop off from there. Now, I still do love the Danny Joneses, the Tuas, Geno Smith this late. That's also good too. But I like what we did here.
Yeah, but I mean, you can call Mahomes a running quarterback, but I mean, because he does run, but he's a passer. But then it's like Mahomes and Allen who can pass and run, and then we got the runners. And then I feel like if you don't get Herbert, then there's a big, big chasm. Herbert's one non-runner that I can stick in there with those guys.
Right. Then we went Swift, which I do like in hindsight. Akers, not James Cook, but I do like. How late did James Conner go? Remember we talked about him being one of the steals.
We could have had James Conner, and that's one of the picks that I think that we screwed up.
Oh yeah, 90, and you see the discrepancy there, 71 and 90. But yeah, I loved our Godwin pick. I'll tell you that much.
I love the Godwin pick too.
But yeah, I'd consider Swift's upside is humongous. Obviously, with the Eagles, but I would have considered something different there. So yeah, Connor, Connor, Akers, Madison, maybe over Swift, but I still do. I don't hate the Swift pick. I didn't like the Juju pick, and we talked about that.
The Juju pick is the pick that I regret.
What I want to get at, Truth, is yes, as much as I do love this Herbert pick, I do think he could throw 40 touchdowns. I'm on record. The Kellen Moore experience, going to be brilliant. This is where like Daniel Jones and, Geno Smith, bam, bam, right there. Or maybe even, I guess Geno wouldn't have made his way back to us in the next round. But I don't mind getting Danny Jones here and then seeing, whether that was Terry McLaurin, I remember we were looking at here, Joe Mixon, I would have really liked
him. Instead of Juju?
Oh, not instead of Juju, of course, over Juju. I'm saying over
Herbert. I like literally all those guys more than Juju.
Oh, of course. No, I'm talking about Herbert, like McLaurin, Mixon. We already had Pollard and Henry, so we didn't have the need, I guess, to go Mixon, but I think he would have been nice
there. I'm telling you. Geno Smith, Daniel Jones, okay, they don't move the needle for me the way Herbert does.
Yeah, I agree too. No, obviously not even close. It's a different tier. I do think Daniel Jones has the upside, and we ended up getting. Oh no, I'm laughing, but we
have Daniel Jones like several rounds.
Daniel Jones.
We picked him like we have a great quarterback situation.
You're right. I do like that. So what I meant to say is we could have had Kirk. And
I love the 5 minutes spent lobbying. Hey, we could have had Daniel Jones, only to find out we in fact did pick Daniel Jones, and he is on the roster currently.
Yeah, exactly. And it is draft time, so let's. I'm gonna pull this up full screen. Let's go to active draft now.
Campanelli says, "Hey Wolf, how many best ball drafts have you done so far? Is it more than the cost of the wedding?"
No, it is not. Not more than the cost of the wedding, Campanelli. But when all said and done, who knows?
Also, Campanelli is digging the glasses on Wolf. Gives off Mel Kiper Jr. vibes.
Oh, hell yeah!
Hey, I went to an eye doctor's appointment today. You could be seeing glasses on both of. It could be the dual
professor show.
Yeah, welcome to the Fantasy Fullback Dive 101.
Yeah, exactly. So we got the 12 pick, Nat. So this will be interesting to see where we go.
Oh, we're the 12? Okay. This is going to be completely different.
This is going to be very different than what we've done before. So let's see
how this goes. How it goes.
We'll see how it goes. And to answer, I think you and Camille were asking, have you done some drafts since last time? Yes, but I've been doing, they've been releasing what's called, I think it's the Poodle. It's always a different type of dog, which I love. And it was like a $7 tournament. So that's kind of, I think I might have done like 2 of those over the weekend. So I'm trying to make sure I'm not just tossing, 25 every single time. I like to do that for the stream. It's the big money. I like, if we win 3 million, it'd be cool to have it documented, like which draft we did, Yeah. So I try to save my best ball mania ones for when we're live. Otherwise, I look for the puppies.
3. He went 5 in our draft. He went 3 in this one.
McCaffrey, yeah. His ADP's right around 3, so I think that's fair. I think that makes sense. I've had a couple drafts where I've been at 11, 12, in that Poodle I was talking about. And I found myself, Austin Eckler's fallen a lot. We know he's playing at this point. He has come out and confirmed. They gave him a little bit of a raise. Not much, but enough to get him on the field. The best offense he's ever been in. I'd love to get Eckler here at the end. And then whether we go Eckler, Saquon, and just have 2 horses. I know receivers are at a premium, but at this point in the draft, I think the hogs are going to be gone. Like if A.J. Brown or Diggs or Adams falls to us, yeah, okay. But after that, I do think it's at a little bit of a teardrop. What is your thoughts? What are you kind of thinking here as 12 approaches us?
Well, who's on the board? Let's look at who's on the board right now. So Brown and Diggs just went. Kelsey's gone. McCaffrey. There's only been 2 running backs taken.
McCaffrey and Bijan, yeah. So I have Eckler queued up. I don't love Lamb and Taylor, to be honest.
Not with our first round.
But I do like Saquon. I've been gobbling up Saquon a lot. I do love Amon-Ra St. Brown. I was hoping for Eckler.
Eckler went. Too bad.
I know. Now, I don't mind going Adams and Saquon. I do like St. Brown and maybe even Garrett Wilson too, but I don't love Taylor with Anthony Richard vulturing. What do you think? I think Adams is a lock. What about you?
I think Adams, and who else? What other running backs other than Taylor and Barkley? I definitely go Adams.
Nick Chubb as well. So we went Adams. I like Barkley. I like Chubb with no Kareem Hunt now.
Let's go Barkley.
Barkley, yeah, I like Barkley, right? Like just a even more beefed up offensive line, more weapons around him, so more touchdowns. Like he doesn't have to do it all like he did for a while last year. I I
I
like
mean,
it. I like this new
that's a
offense.
respectable start. I mean, these are studs.
I know. I was sneakily hoping for an Eckler
We
Adams start,
almost
but
got
I
him.
imagine one of those two was going.
We
Um,
almost got him though.
so we'll pull the board back up, and I think we talked about this last time. Truth, so we don't have to do it every single time. I still question Bijan over Eckler, though. I do.
I I I, I more than question it. I
Where
I
where should Eckler actually like legitimately go if he's had
like
like 300 points in back-to-back years, and it's going to be
like
an even better offense.
6 or 7 at the
Yeah,
lowest.
I think these four receivers and McCaffrey make sense. Maybe Kelsey, but I think that's where you're talking. Maybe Eckler.
I'd probably
Um,
rather have Eckler than Cooper Cup, and I love
yeah,
Cooper Cup.
I think him at anywhere like where he's going right now. Eckler is the steal of the drafts. I
If
mean,
if we had the fifth pick, I would have probably gone Kelsey, but if not Kelsey, I probably would have gone Eckler, if I'm being honest.
yeah, I mean, it's very justifiable. Like, what does he have? 30 touchdowns the last 2 years, and maybe even more than that. It's the most. I know it's the most in the league. I know nobody
Yeah.
has more touchdowns, and I know touchdowns are fluky. Don't chase them. They didn't add anybody.
Okay, they're fluky, but and to some degree that's true. But when you're not talking about a particularly small sample size, you start to think, well, that's a little less fluky. I mean, if you're talking about multiple years,
Yeah,
there's something to that. That's not just, oh, he had a great season. It's like he's
absolutely
consistently scored a ton of touchdowns. Mahomes, Allen going mid-second round, and
makes
Hurts
sense.
went before that. Hurts was the first quarterback off the board.
I know. Yeah. I think stacking up Kelsey Mahomes makes sense. Josh Allen, Cooper Cup, like the two highest scores at their position just 2 years ago. That's a pretty
Yeah,
good stack
it's
there.
a
I
sexy
know it's not
start, man.
stack, but
It's a sexy start.
sexy start. I know. I still think like so in our position, I think Justin Fields maybe falls to us here. And yes, you can't. I'm never going to say you're wrong for taking Hurts, Allen, Mahomes. But if Fields is within 20 points of all those guys, but I get him around later, and now I have Saquon instead of. I guess there's good round 3 running backs. I mean, we look at the board here.
Yeah,
Look,
I,
we still like we
I
still
gotta
have
tell you, I'm
Pollard.
not really thinking of Fields right now.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's 10, 12 picks before we go
Oh
again.
yeah, we're not getting Pollard. We're not getting any of these guys.
I
Pollard,
know.
Henry.
Unfortunately, you are correct, which is too bad because a bunch of those guys. Hey, do you see somebody on Twitter was like, I think it's somebody we follow. He said Ramondre over McCaffrey.
Oh my God, no. Who? That's bad.
I feel like it was in our text thread.
Really? I missed that one. I mean, that's just kind of being ridiculous. Come on.
Yeah, it's just trolling for like.
It has to be. That can't be serious, right? And I guess the pure take would be McCaffrey's been injured before, but like
Okay.
everybody's an injury risk, especially at the running back position. I mean, that is I can't.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make
I
sure.
won't comment on that. That can't be real. That had to have been like I'm tweeting this out and expecting people to go nuts and then being like, haha, gotcha.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know, but that seems ridiculous.
No, to me, it did. I just wanted to know your take on it.
I did not see that one. I've been relatively quiet on Twitter lately. I'll get back
I'm
to
not
going
even
over
really
some,
on
but
Twitter. The only time I see stuff is if somebody on Roto Street like sends it to somebody. Like they send tweets to people sometimes.
yeah. Well, back to the draft here. I do think this pocket, like being at the top of the draft, is a huge advantage because I mean, I'd like Justin Jefferson, Smith, Pollard. He could have gone Jefferson, Pollard, Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the ability to get an anchor receiver like that, and then 2 top 5 potential running backs like Henry right now, Henry McCaffrey. I mean, that's a ridiculous backfield. Plus, you have T. Higgins in the mix there too. I mean, come on, that's a pretty wild start right there. I do think after Jacobs, it drops a little bit at the running back position. That's kind of the depth of a tier right there. So
yeah, man, picking. I'm interested to see who we're gonna get. Picking 12th, I don't like it as much as picking second.
no, God, no. Second was way sexier. But like Debo could bounce back. I'm a little bit wary of Calvin Ridley. He's getting the hype. He's moving at a different speed than everybody out there. And he's that type of player. I do think this is where Justin Fields becomes an edge. I like Christian Watson. He really took off down the stretch. You remove, Alan Lazard and Randall Cobb should take the next step. So I'm a big fan of Christian Watson. I love Hopkins. I don't hate Najee for a rebound year, but I don't love Najee.
I don't love any of these guys though.
I like going receivers just because.
Christian Watson so much? Who's throwing him the ball?
For who?
Christian Watson. Why do you like him so much?
I mean, because he's a monster. Now it's our
All right,
pick.
we're on the clock. We'll argue about this in a minute.
I do
Debo
like.
went. That's too bad.
What'd you say?
Debo went. That's too bad.
I like Watson and Hopkins here, honestly, or Fields.
I'd rather have Fields than Watson.
Justin Fields?
Yeah, I mean, I don't love this, but I don't.
What about Hopkins and Watson then? Would you rather have? I really like Watson. I think we got to give it a roll. But if you really like Hopkins,
Watson, go ahead. I just think like who's throwing the guy the ball?
Jordan Love. I mean, he's looked okay.
I don't know.
He's looked okay in his games. I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
If you really believe in him, go for it.
It's just one of those exciting. I had him last year, truth, and he kind of saved my season for a while. So maybe it's recency, owner bias, all that. But he went bananas. There was a stretch where he was the number one wide receiver. I think it was like week 7 to week 12. And then in the playoffs, he slowed down and he was a bit up and down. And I think a lot of that was Rodgers. Honestly, I'm not convinced that Rodgers wasn't a negative for Watson because you know how much he's like, freeze this guy out. He didn't run the right route. Nope. And that wasn't Watson. He's not like a refined, perfect beast. He was coming out as an insane size, speed, freakish product, which we saw on display as he's putting up these 30-point days. Now that he's got a year under his belt, he's got a quarterback that's not going to just throw him in the doghouse for making one mistake. Like, I honestly think he might be in a better spot, which sounds crazy when an all-time MVP, biggest loser of the NFL playoffs player leaves your fucking franchise and you're better. I think Christian Watson has a chance to be better without Rodgers. I don't know. What do you think?
I absolutely agree that he could be better without Rodgers. I mean, he's got another year under his belt. And while I don't think Love is particularly good, Rodgers certainly wasn't good last year. So, I don't think your reasoning's crazy on that at all.
Not nuts. No, I think that's.
But it's just like, but it kind of turns my stomach that we picked him with the first pick in the 4th round. Like, I don't think he's that good. But I mean, there's a significant drop off. I don't know around what pick, but maybe like mid 3rd round or something. And then all of a sudden you're kind of like not really table scraps yet, but you're not thrilled with what you're getting.
I think it's at Josh Jacobs, honestly. And like maybe Ramondre can fit as some upside, not McCaffrey upside. But he has some upside. I do worry that like it's always Bill playing stupid shit. There's rumblings of Ty fucking Montgomery again. Sorry for the language. I apologize. But
are we apologizing
for bad language now? What's that?
Do we apologize for bad language now?
I just mean no disrespect to Mr. Montgomery.
In case Ty Montgomery or his family are watching.
I think his mom's a huge fan of the fullback dive.
In which case, like, call in. We'd love to. We'll put you on. We'll put another rectangle down there.
Get on over here, yeah, Mrs. Montgomery. So I'm trying to think. Okay, so what are some picks I loved? Like, I don't know what to make of Kenneth Walker these days. I'd love to hear your take on Walker, like with Zach Charbonnet, an excited rookie added. I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous about him.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why somebody would believe in him to take him maybe in the 4th, 5th round. I get it. But if you told me he was going to do almost nothing this year, it wouldn't be like that surprising.
I know.
Like, we could see a precipitous drop off. And I mean, maybe he's the real deal and he's just going to, eat. I don't know what to think about him at all.
Yeah, if Charbonnet hadn't been added, I liked him at his early 3rd price. But he was one of the biggest fallers of the draft, in my opinion, just because you already have Carroll saying Charbonnet is going to compete for the starting role. And I don't buy it, but it's just 3rd down role will now be Charbonnet's. Walker is good. I really like Walker as a player. That's what's so frustrating, but I like the offense as a whole. So I think he's going to still be okay, but I wouldn't go him over Mixon. I wouldn't go him over Jamar Gibbs, I don't think.
No.
Not over Travis Etienne. So I don't love the Kenneth Walker pick myself, but he's got the talent to make me look like a complete idiot. So
I would have, I don't. Yeah, the at least a few of the picks after him, I would have gone for them.
Yeah.
Show me who's left on the board because we're about to pick again.
All righty. So I actually don't hate Hawkinson, although he just went. I like Aaron Jones here a lot.
I actually kind of like this group better than the last group that we picked from.
Aaron Jones just went, unfortunately. right
Your boy,
before us. I like
your boy
Godwin
Chris
again, though.
Godwin. Your boy Chris Godwin's there.
I'll go Godwin, and then we can figure out from where we want to go from there.
Is Dobbins still on, or do you like Dobbins?
I like Dobbins. I'm not diehard. I like Tony. I like Swift, but this is early for Swift.
Yeah, he's early
Um,
for Swift.
I like Trevor Lawrence, but we just went QB, so we don't need to do that. I don't hate Ayuk. Truth. Let's go Ayuk.
I like Ayuk. Do we think?
Yeah,
Ayuk's
let's get an explosive receiver.
Okay, I mean we got a strong group of receivers. We're gonna need to hit some running backs here soon.
Yeah, so I'm hoping we get like the Connor Montgomery duo right there, and then we're in pretty good shape. Like there's typically good running backs falling. I wouldn't have hated Dobbins where he was there. I think that's a pretty nice pick as well. But if this guy's got loaded backs, he's gobbling them up in front of us.
Yeah, but what's he got at receiver?
Debo, Kittle.
One, just Debo and Kittle. Yeah.
Yeah, so he'll probably. I can't imagine he's going to draft any more running backs. We'll see. But I mean, I like what we're doing. I don't love this one as much. It's when you're at the top, it's definitely, I think, an advantage, and it always is. Like you get the number one pick, you already feel sexy. But I really do think, as you were saying, in the third round, like if there was ever a year for the third round reversal, I'm not a third round reversal advocate, but you get what you get. But I do think the top of the third round is it's much closer to the top of the second round. Top of third, still that same talent, and then it's boom, and now you're like, oh yeah, now I really am in the basement of the third round. You know, it feels like you don't leave the second round until you're like at the bottom of round 3.
Right.
And
boom. Yeah, I hear you. I agree.
You know, it is a bad drop off. I'm with you. So
it's all right. When we're going to do a lot of these, we're going to have a lot of highs and a lot of lows. And honestly, although I'm not crazy about this team, it's certainly better than some of the teams we drafted last year.
Oh yeah, and it's not bad. I mean, I still like what we're doing.
I think we're going to snipe some good guys here at the end. I think we're better at the end.
I would have really liked Aaron Jones to have fallen. That would have felt nice.
We almost got Aaron Jones. We almost got Austin Eckler. We were one pick away on both of those guys.
This is a much more running back heavy draft than typical. And I'm not usually a 0 RB guy, but I'm just gonna see what happens here. Like Montgomery usually goes 20 picks later. Dalvin Cook, what team's he even going to be on? He kind of looked dead last year. I feel like this is kind of the running back dead zone of last year. After you get to these like Aaron Joneses, Mixons, like great values, and then like I don't know. I'm not huge into these other ones.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking like maybe we get in the Montgomery area, and then Montgomery went like 2 picks after we picked.
Yeah, there's still Swift. There's still Akers. Like I like both of them. I kind of like Rachaad White. I do still. I know you probably never go back to Gabe.
I don't hate Rachaad White.
I like James Conner. I really like James Conner.
I think it's a little bit scary to think about Rachaad White. This Buccaneers offense. I don't know, man. We already got Godwin.
If we can come away, so now one of them's gone, but if we come away with one, God forbid, 2 of these, that could be something special. And I get what you're saying, like the Buccaneers offense, we have Godwin. We're really going to load up on Bucks, like no Brady now.
Yeah, remember when we loaded up on Jets last year? That was a terrible
one draft. That was horrible.
Yeah, that was the worst draft we ever did.
That was bad. That was so bad. I had that purge from my memory. Why'd you have to make me go back?
I think about it all the time.
Yeah, I think about you. Oh God, Zach Wilson. Just an embarrassment.
I think we had him.
What was I even getting at? Oh, I had something. Then you got me thrown off.
I was talking about. I questioned the Rachaad White.
Okay, yes. So I did. My point, what I was going to make around that is Baker Mayfield last year goes in the Rams, plays 3 games. Cam Akers was a running back 1. He was the actual running back 4 in fantasy for like the 5 games he played with Baker Mayfield, and so he just dumped it off. Was peppering Akers and ran a decently competent offense. Like even Van Jefferson was okay. So it's not that I'm a Baker guy. I don't believe in Baker, but
Good.
I do believe Baker isn't so bad that he completely tanks the offense to what the prices are now showing on Godwin going late round, like where we just got him. Godwin's a good value right now.
Where do we get him? 5th round?
Like pick 60, the end of the 5th. All righty, so
it's a good pick. I do think that Baker's really bad.
I mean, Dallas Goedert also falling very much intrigues me because I was considering him last round.
Who do you like better between out of those three running backs?
My favorite is probably Connor or Akers.
I like Connor more than Akers.
Okay, so hopefully we get him. If not, though, I do. I mean, I actually don't even hate Marquise Brown just because I like getting Kyler Murray.
I don't know if we want to load up on Cardinals either.
No, but I think Kyler Murray is one of the steals of the draft right now too. Goddard goes. I think we go Akers Connor. What do you think?
Yeah, hit it.
I'm thrilled with that. That's like exactly how I wanted this to go, actually. So the reason why I was shitting on, and not necessarily shitting on, but like these running backs, Cook, even Dobbins is a different level when he's healthy, but when's he healthy? Montgomery, certainly. Even Pacheco, like those guys are to me the same tier as Akers and James Conner. Decent running back twos with some real spike week upside. Our guys went, a round and a half later. So Javonte Williams, put him in that bucket too. Like I think all of these guys are the same. Our prices were just 20 picks later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why Godwin Ayuk here. I'm feeling pretty strong about this team now. So, that kind of changed my outlook at Akers and Connor.
I agree with you. I like the team more now. We have three running backs that are all right.
We have a true running back one, two very capable RB2s. So any given week, I think all three of those guys will make the lineup with four good receivers to churn out, three good of them a week. Like I'm a fan, truth. I didn't expect the way running backs were going. I was worried Akers, like we would have nobody to pick from. That worked out really nice.
I agree. That changed my opinion of the team. We're going to remember this when this team wins a bunch. We're going to remember that 7-8 turn that just turned the season around for us.
Absolutely. I mean, we got a guy that can potentially be the quarterback one. New DJ Moore arrival. Will it do what Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown and Allen and Diggs? We've seen the trend every year. It's like, why not bet on that? Love it. Then you got three very capable RB1, solid two RB2s that I thought we got 20 picks too cheap. I like these four. You got your anchor, Target Hog, and Adams, and I don't like Garoppolo, but he got peppered by Derek Carr. Is Garoppolo that bad of a downgrade from? I don't think so. So Watson, huge upside that we already talked about. Godwin, Ayuk. I'm a fan. I mean, you didn't love Watson, so like let's look back at that.
But when I look at Watson in the context of best ball with those three other guys already, I don't hate him.
So exactly, but also, who would you have preferred out of like these are the receivers that went after him?
Okay, I'm looking.
I like that we went receiver. The context of the team, the build makes sense. But now let's look at the players. Like who of Cooper, Hopkins, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. Like you could make a case for any of those guys over Watson.
I mean, I know he's made of glass, but Keenan Allen appeals to me. I admit.
Truth, I agree. A point about him that I've been kind of thinking lately. So they draft Quentin Johnson. That's why a lot of people down on the Chargers receivers. He's a hog. The coach came out and said, like, this is the most talented player in the draft. We gotta, that we were watching him against Georgia and we thought he was the best player on the field type of thing. So he's gonna have a role. But to me, him and Mike Williams seem more likely to cannibalize each other. Two big bodies, the speed, stretch the field type guys. I think Keenan's pretty safe underneath as that slot guy. So of all of them, I certainly think Keenan's a nice value right now. So I'm with you. I actually think Keenan could have been justifiable there.
I've owned Mike Williams before, and the highs are very high and the lows are very low.
And this is the format for that.
But it's
this is the format for that. And points are points. So like I get that too. Steadiness does have its place in best ball. It's not like you should only be going for boom or bust type guys.
No, I understand.
That being said, and I'm just kind of speaking to the audience, like as we talk. That being said, like the way players get their points, if you have a certain makeup, like Mike Williams will have those 30-point days, and when he's bad, he's not in your lineup, and you don't have to worry about it. So it's just a matter of like those booms, the 280 points he brings to your team are going to come maybe 6 different weeks, and then he'll be replaced with ideally something pretty steady, like a Jacoby Myers that gets you 11, something stupid.
You're right. That. It's a different mentality, and I need to remember that. You're chasing upside. I'll say this also.
I don't like these picks at all, by the way. No. Dawson Knox and Mike Gesicki.
This is a weakness in my draft, in my thing when we do these drafts, and I mean you've done way more than me, but just the ones I've done with you, I've done a lot. It's, for instance, I probably like DeAndre Hopkins more than Christian Watson there also. And the reason that I didn't push for Hopkins is because we got him maybe 5 picks later last draft. And so in my mind, I was like, I don't want to overpay for him. And I know that about myself, but it's a legitimate weakness. It's 100%. A flaw in my first sometimes.
And truth, his ADP is 6 spots higher. I got him at 54 a week ago. Like, right. You know, it's crazy. Like, I totally get what you're saying. Like, I've gotten him so cheap. Now my team is just not as sexy.
Right. And then you become unwilling to pay more for him. And it's stupid because if he's the best guy in your opinion there, you should take him every time.
Yeah. And I think I do have him higher than Watson in my rankings. I might change that. I don't know. At least in my best ball rankings, I feel Watson has that. Like, we know what Hopkins is, and that's really good. So there is value to that too. And he really was with Kyler on the field last year, and even without Kyler, he had some real running wide receiver one. I am just wary of the breakdown. Like, he's missed time in back-to-back years, and some of it was suspension, some of it was an injury.
Yep.
The picks that I can't fathom. If you need to go tight end, okay. Why are you going Mike Gesicki and Dawson Knox here?
Oh, Aaron Rodgers.
Juju at 70. This team must have had things like, I don't know what's going on there, but
you think they're like on drugs?
I feel higher than us somehow. So I like Samaje Perine here. You know, I like that Denver backfield. I like Penny. I like a chain, I think it is. I like Gibson and him. I'm going to go Perine, and then we can kind of figure it out from here. Just because I like what we did with our running backs, but depth of the position doesn't hurt. And I think there's a big drop-off after this kind of tier.
How about all right, you choose between Gibson and Harris. Those are the
I also like Danny Jones and getting our backup QB.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Well, what do you think?
I'm going Daniel Jones because Fields will have his duds. I think Daniel Jones will sneakily be like a little bit safer weekly floor with a few big booms of his own, you know?
Okay.
And then we just hope another running back. Like, I like all these guys. If one of them falls again, even better. What we're really punting the tight end position.
Yeah, well, and at this point, oh yeah, I mean we got to get something though. We got to get somebody that's starting.
Yeah, we will. We'll just take 3 tight ends late, and just that's kind of what we're at anyways now. Like, Freiermuth's a pretty steady presence, but even then, he's not
not going to fall to us.
I need his 10 points every single week. Like, I can kind of, we probably want to stack Fields with Kmet. You know what I mean? That would be good. I do always, I love going Taysom Hill.
Yeah, you do.
I like getting Wanda.
For best ball, I love Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill, baby. We'll figure out the tight end. I think Danny Jones. I mean, we went Danny Jones over Tua. What are your thoughts on that?
I like it.
You're okay with that?
Yep.
That was my. Yeah, I'm okay with it too.
You think Tua is still going to be like playing football by like week 6?
Have you seen thick Tua pictures?
I'm not even. No, I haven't. But I mean, like,
beefed up.
Unless the bone around his brain beefed up like somehow. Like, I think like the guy is. I mean, he's taking some terrible hits, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No,
I don't know. I don't think that he's going to last in this league. I don't know. And it's too bad. Yeah,
we'll see. Definitely, he has more risk than Danny Jones at the end of the day. So I get what you're getting at.
He's a better runner too. Daniel Jones is a much better runner.
Yes. Oh yeah. KJ Osborne. Remember last time we got him at like 170? That was a steal.
You think Matthew Stafford's cooked?
Could be. That's a good bet to make. If you get Cooper Kupp and just want to try on banking on that. So then you go after Van Jefferson. Cam Akers would be a good. Just going back all in on the Rams. Like, I could see the Rams bouncing back and having right back to top 10 offense. That's an upside narrative, no doubt.
Remember when before last season we both kind of liked the Rams to repeat?
Yeah, that was so stupid.
I think that's probably the most off I've ever been on a prediction on anything in my life. Thinking that team like could maybe win the Super Bowl.
Mine will forever be Clyde Edwards-Helaire as the worst prediction of my life.
That was a pretty bad one.
That was really.
You did nail Mahomes.
Yeah. Yeah. Balanced out by Mahomes. That was our best.
What's your prediction? What do you think about Kyle Pitts' prospects for the year?
I don't like him at his price. I'll tell you that much.
Sure.
He'll always have that.
If you could get him 2 rounds later, would you want him?
Yeah. I mean, he's a freak athlete. Like, that's talent that – so if he's going 2 rounds later, okay, pick 90, yes, 110% I'll bet on that talent. But
I like James Conner way more, who we got at like 85 or something.
I wouldn't necessarily disagree. And I'll tell you this, Dallas Goedert going 17 picks after Kyle Pitts is egregious.
Bro, it's crazy. It's crazy.
That is absolutely nuts. So I get it, like 100%. Let me get back on here. 100%. I was hoping Penny might fall to us. I like Penny. And I liked Harris. Those were the 2 I was hoping for.
Yeah, I wanted Harris too. But let's see who we got here. Is it too early for the Komet stack? Or he's not going to fall much further, huh?
It's not too early, I don't think. We could consider Mooney as part of the stack too. I know DJ Moore's there, but I kind of like Mooney to feast on number 2s right now, you know?
Let's pick the Bears.
Just stack up our guy.
Yeah. I think Taysom might still be there when we pick.
I also don't hate Khalil Herbert just won. I was gonna say another Bear.
It makes it easier for us. We don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, so we'll go Darnell Mooney, and then we'll go Komet, and we'll stack up our Fields.
I mean, if this is a Fields team, if this is a we believe in Fields team, that we're doing.
Well, that's why you're playing, right? You're hoping we make it to week 17 and Fields goes bonkers and throws, him, Komet, and Mooney combined for 90 points. We
want to see a lot of short screens to Saquon from Danny Jones that he runs 60 yards.
Yeah, I think we'll want to get at least a couple of Giants receivers, which that's why I like taking Daniel Jones so much. Is it is wide open, but there's going to be some really good receivers. I think Wandale, he had a 14 target day last year. Like he's small, he's slight, but then you got Hodgins not too much later. If you miss out on him, you can even get all the way down to Darius Slayton. I obviously would go my man Tank Dell, who I love, Nathaniel Tank Dell, before any of them. But it's very easy to stack. You can even go after.
You can only take 2 of these 3 guys. Wandale, KJ Osborne, Taysom Hill. You can only take 2.
Say it again.
Wandale, Taysom Hill, KJ Osborne.
I would go with the current team we have, or just in general.
Oh, either or. I mean, does this team affect?
It does, because for this team, I would probably go Wandale over KJ Osborne. In general, I'd probably go Osborne over Wandale. But I think, given we have Daniel Jones, it makes sense to stack him up. And then I don't think I can pass up on Taysom Hill, although he goes 173. So let's see what pick numbers like. We would need 156, 157. We would need him to fall to 180, which is a big leap of faith.
That's
but
a big ask.
157's a huge reach too.
That's a big ask.
I just don't know if we can take him. I think we're just banking and hoping that he falls.
You thinking Robinson Hill right now? You don't think we can take Hill?
Taysom? Nah, I don't think so. It'd be too much of a reach. I think we have to look at something more in the I'd rather go Chig or even Dalton Schultz. Like CJ Stroud loves to throw the dump offs. It could be a check down machine there, and then we just hope Hill falls back to us. I have no problem going either of those.
Right now, Wandale and KJ.
Yeah, I would go the tight ends myself. So yeah.
First,
I wouldn't go both of them, but I'd go one of those over.
So I am a big believer in general of a young quarterback or a rookie quarterback trying to get his feet wet. I always like their tight end. So if you like that situation in Houston, maybe we pick him up.
I do. Unfortunately, he just went, Dalton Schultz. Wow. It looks like CL is going to be going for a Houston stack. He just went Collins Schultz. So I imagine Stroud won't be too far away.
I don't know, man. The Houston stack seems eerily similar to the Jets stack from last year.
It does. I mean, I never liked Zach Wilson. I know that just ended up being a sickening draft for us.
No, but I remember you trying to talk yourself into it afterwards.
Like, I mean, if he's number 2 pick, he could really.
I don't know. He could surprise you.
They were calling him Pat Mahomes at one point, right?
Yeah, you don't like him at all, Truth? I was like, no.
Yeah. There was nothing to like about that.
That's okay. You're bound to miss
it. It was a matter of loving Elijah Moore as a player, loving Garrett Wilson, and it just goes to show. I think both of them are great players, but you need your quarterback. Surrounding talent. It has to be part of your equation when you evaluate fantasy players.
It really is important.
Unfortunately, especially maybe not running back as much. The line helps. A good offense. All ships rise with a good offense. But really at receiver, if you don't have a quarterback that can at least a slight accurate, oh man, Zach Wilson just is not an NFL player.
Mike O'Hara says Amari Cooper's being overlooked in my opinion. He had a great year with terrible quarterback play.
He did. He had a great year, and Brissett was just funneling them targets. I agree, Mike. Good to see him. Mike's actually a new writer on the site. He's crushing it. Workhorse, just 3 articles in his first 4 days. Love it, Mike. Keep nice, on feasting over there. Great stuff too, Truth. You should check out Mike's pieces on the site.
I have started looking at the site again recently.
Yeah, we got some lot of new stuff coming out these days.
Looks really good, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. I like the new update for sure. So,
all right, we're on the clock, man.
I don't hate Alec Pierce.
You want to snap up Wandale here?
I like Wandale. I've always been a big Donta Foreman guy.
I know you have.
What are your thoughts? We only have 4 running backs. He's a burly guy. He could win this job.
He is burly. Pick him up. He's burly.
I'm going to take Wandale as well. Do the stack, but.
All right, we're leaning into the Giants and the Bears here.
Famous last words.
Right. I think that's what George Custer said right before he went to face the Sioux Indians. He was just like, all right, we're going to stack up on Giants and Bears, folks.
Famous last stand. Exactly. So when I was drafted this weekend, Truth, I took Trey Lance. I'm not even a huge Trey Lance guy. I took him in 3 drafts this week. I did 5 drafts. And the reason why, he went to my last pick in every single draft. I'm not a huge Trey Lance guy, but if he hits compared to what else is there in your last round, I couldn't believe that he was falling to the last rounds.
Last round is crazy. I'm not a fan, but absolutely, you're right at that price. I mean, you get to go for it.
So let's look at the team. Let's kind of think about how we want to wrap this thing up. So I don't think we need another quarterback. I did like here, I often find myself in this round. Most of my teams, Daniel Jones is my QB1 these days. I've been often going Daniel Jones, Geno Smith, and then Kyler Murray, where we just kind of took Donta Foreman. Kyler Murray right here would have been a sexy pick. It didn't do much for us. I don't know, though. He might have been just picking him and having the upside in the second half of the year. He has plenty of 30-point days. As much as I hate him, he's a bad locker room guy. So fantasy locker room, it could have been a risk to add a guy like Kyler Murray. But I've been taking a lot of him. What's your opinion of Kyler Murray?
So it's important for me when assessing Kyler Murray to try to disassociate the stats and fantasy potential and fantasy performance to what I think about him personally, because he has started to really bug the hell out of me.
So annoying.
Yeah, he really is. And I need to keep it all business more, because every argument you make for him about why he's a steal, why he's undervalued, why he could really blow up, you're right about all of it. My hesitance,
this is a steal, by the way, though. I know I don't mean to interrupt you, but Kyler Murray at 168 is a steal.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Keep going.
Can't argue with you. Yeah. So, do you know what I mean? Do you ever feel that way about players? They just piss you off personally, kind of.
Yes, they do.
You don't want to take them.
And Kyler's the great example of that. He's annoying. He's the video game shit. He wouldn't be who I want as my franchise quarterback. As my quarterback 3 in best ball over, I look at what we did, Wandale and Foreman. It's, again, our team build didn't dictate a quarterback there, but I'll tell you, I think we're getting a lot more points from Kyler Murray, even if it's just 3 games and they're 30-pointers, than Wandale and Donta provide us.
Agree.
I don't know.
No, I think
but we had Fields. That's the point. You don't take a quarterback early if you're going to go load up on Kyler Murray there too. That's why I haven't been doing a lot of Fields and early QBs. I don't know.
I completely get it.
I think next time we draft, so we've done Herbert, we've done Fields. I think we got to commit next time to drafting no earlier than like round 9 Danny J. And then we see what we do at QB. Because there is between Kyler Murray, even Jordan Love right now, we could have stacked him up with Christian Watson if Love's the next coming, side quarterbacks late. And last year that wasn't the case. I mean, everybody got quarterback hungry. And now there's good value. A lot of them, the top tier go and they're gone. But then there's a lot of lingering value. So
all right, we'll commit to that. We'll commit next time. We're not going before say round 6 or 7.
Yeah,
or 8 maybe.
What's the note on Michael? It has like the little note.
Taysom Hill still on the board, Wolf.
I know. Don't jinx it.
All right.
But I saw.
You saw. You just didn't want to say anything.
I saw. Hey, there he is. I'm pumped. See, that's why we didn't take him.
Yeah,
he fell to us.
Your instincts were great on that. Let's grab him.
What are your thoughts on double tight ending this? We go Taysom Hill, we get Gerald Everett, who has some touchdown upside with the Chargers, and then we're done.
How many tight ends we have right now?
We have Komet, we have Taysom Hill. I think we add Gerald Everett, and then we're good.
Everett. Yeah.
I do like Hodgins because we have Danny J, but I think there's going to be some interesting receivers. And we already have pretty good receivers too.
We don't need Hodgins. Let's go Everett.
All righty. So let's just queue up. We have exactly, I think, 2 picks left. Oh man.
2 picks left. We get 1 turn pick and then we're done.
So I think we aim for 1 more running back, 1 more receiver, because this is just a very balanced team.
You're not a little tempted by your boy Jordan Love if he's there?
If he's there, I get what you're saying. I'm not opposed. It's kind of like the Trey Lance pick we're talking about. What if he just blows up and we're invested with Christian Watson? That's a nice tie up to have. I mean, Christian Watson can't.
I wouldn't think it was crazy in the last round. In the last round, I would not think it was a crazy.
No. If he falls to us, I'll tell you this. So I'm most intrigued by Hodgins, Nathaniel Dells. I don't know where Marvin Jones came from.
I was going to ask you why Marvin Jones. Why Marvin Jones?
He just wanted to say hello.
Okay.
I really like, and he might be gone by the time it gets to us. I really like Jerome Ford. There goes Hodgins. That's unfortunate. I did like Hodgins. So those are 3 guys I really like. I like Rondale Moore, kind of. I'd love Robert Woods. I have him above Rondale. So these are 4 guys I really like. I'd love to get 2 of those 4.
So
there goes Ford.
You talked about this with me before we went on about comparing players to certain things, and we talked about Robert Woods last week. So let me ask you this: yes. What meal would you compare Robert Woods to? By the way, Jordan Love just went.
I saw Jordan Love. A lot of our guys, Jerome Ford, great. Number 2 running backs for the Browns always come through. Delicious ground pie. He's going to have a good slice of it. I love Jerome Ford. But
I'm just thinking of Robert Woods as a meal.
I know. I'm trying to come back to that. Robert Woods as a meal. It's certainly not flashy.
Fish sticks.
Fish sticks isn't bad. Like a fillet of fish.
Fine. It's okay.
He kind of gets you so if you're a devout Catholic and you can't eat fish on Fridays, he's like your McDonald's fillet of fish that kind of just gets you through a week or 2.
Okay.
Oh no, you can't eat meat. Yeah, you can. You eat fish. Yes, I know what I know. My bad. You know what I'm getting at. Lent, you can only eat fish on Fridays. That's what I was getting at. So
I'll take your word for it.
You've heard of that, right? I don't even know.
I've heard of it. My wife was raised super Catholic.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you know the deal.
Yeah. She got out of there. All right. So fish sticks.
Yeah, fish sticks isn't bad. I was gonna say like a burger with no cheese on it, and it's kind of overcooked.
Yeah, okay, that's not bad. And maybe
like on the grill where there's always the guy in the white like Air Maxes, and he just grills your burger a little too much, but he thinks he's the fucking man. And
Yeah, like
he
he talks
slaps
about
on
his
you. You don't have the
football.
heart to be like, oh, it's a hockey puck. That's kind of like
He's got
Robert
like
Woods.
all the gear. He's got like an apron like that says like world's best chef or something.
Yeah, exactly. And off the spatula, you're like, you see the black. I think
No
we double
cheese.
stacked. We did this last time. We double stacked them.
Yep, do
I,
it.
I think we do it again. I
Do
try
it
to
again.
think.
I
We don't
want
necessarily need it,
that
but
overcooked burger with no cheese on my team again.
if there was any running backs that intrigued me, I would like to add depth. Patterson again? Patterson or Woods? What do you think?
Patterson.
You're a Patterson guy.
Yeah,
I like it.
Patterson was a meal. Patterson was a meal. He'd just be like the type of meal you could order, and man, it could be the best thing you've ever tasted in your life, where you could just be really disappointed like 13 out of the 16 times you eat it.
It's to me, it's McDonald's chicken nuggets. When you get that batch that is just perfect, crispy
on the outside, hot.
oh, nice juicy bite. Like when you have an A+ squad.
There's nothing better.
Nothing better. And when Patterson gets you 35 and scores like 4 random touchdowns, nothing better than that too. But when you get just the floppy, cold, not cold. It's never cold, but it's
no,
mushy.
I know what you mean though.
It's mushy.
Yeah.
That to me is Patterson.
Yeah, I hear you. That's true with fries sometimes too.
I was going to say McDonald's in general. Even the burgers. Sometimes you'll get a knockout McDouble, and most times you're getting something sick, and you don't usually feel very good after.
No, sick, like, and then you absolutely feel sick.
Even when Patterson blows up for you, something kind of feels sick about it too, doesn't it?
A little bit.
What you're just like, I feel really bad for my opponent. That Cordarrelle Patterson's the reason that I'm shitting all over, but then I love it even more. It's
look, last pick of the draft, Cordarrelle. I don't hate it, man.
This team ended up coming into pretty decent shape. Truth, I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's a pretty good team. I came around on it. That's the 7-8 turn pick is what changed it.
Yeah, I think 7-8 really getting those values on Akers, Connor. Then I love the way we balanced out the running back room. We could have gone both Houston guys, double stacked it and gone 5-8, but I think, yes, I love Barkley. I like having this, like, we're guaranteed at least 2 good running backs from this crew, likely to have 3 in your lineup. We had good receivers too. We had spent some decent capital getting those first 4 that I don't mind that we only have 7 receivers. Let's trust the team we built. And we got great values on both Everett and Taysom Hill. You mix it with the stack. This went from a squad that at the beginning I was like probably a B- at best. I'd say a B+. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's a B+ team. Maybe not an A-, maybe not, but like solid B+. I like it.
I agree.
I feel like we really pulled this one out of our ass because like I didn't love how it started, but given what we got at the end, like middle and the end, I love that attached to what we got at the start.
100%. Yeah, those of you out there, let us know what your thoughts are. We'd love a draft grade from the populace out there. If anybody's tuned in, whether you're commenting live after or whether you're here live with us, let us know what you think of the draft. It came out much better than I was expecting by the end. I think we did the best with what we could get. I'm trying to think if there's anything I would redo. So Samaje Perine, this is an interesting running back spot that I think warrants a quick talk. Is Samaje Perine versus Gibson versus who else goes in this range? It's usually Damian Harris, Rashad Penny. Those guys fell really far. I think those are 2 brilliant picks right there, Harris and Penny. Perine was clearly way earlier than any of them, and I think he's in the same tier. So that's one pick that I'm
I like a couple
about.
of those guys more than Perine.
You like, yeah. So maybe we reevaluate there. Devin Achane could have been an interesting rookie, like a little injection of upside. I still like Perine, though. Sean Payton's offense has been a gold mine for backs, and they're talking about Javonte taking it slow with him. So I think Perine's going to get us off to a hot start. He had some huge games filling in for Mixon. So
good. We need him to have a few games that were
a few good games. But I agree. I think if I could have redone that, I would have probably gone Gibson, Penny, or Harris above Perine.
Yeah, I would have gone either Gibson or Harris.
Yeah. And you don't like Penny too much?
It's a good team. I like it.
Yeah, then we got our Bears. some Giants action. You know me, I've always been a big fan of that big body of Donta Foreman. And then Taysom Hill, Everett, great values at tight. I love the Taysom Hill pick. Whew. And then, our guys, Dell and Patterson to wrap up the draft. Great upside. Love it. So I'm in. I like it. Solid B+.
I love that. Yeah, okay. I agree. It's a B+.
All righty.
That was fun.
That was very fun. Do you have to get running Honest Truth or?
What do you got going on?
Oh, do we have any questions in here? Oh, you already kind of hit the comments there. Awesome.
Giuseppe made a point of just giving us a nice compliment. Hey, fellas,
thank you, Giuseppe. Yeah.
Hey, fellas, you're
on
always
the way out then. That
People
gives us a good reminder
like, share, sub, Roto Street, best in the biz. So
not
really a question. But,
Giuseppe was the victor of my best single wager, my best bet of all time, the trifecta touchdown bet in the Super Bowl. Remember, I called it on our betting show. Giuseppe made himself, I think, $1,000, putting $10 on it or something of that nature. I loved it.
That was awesome.
That was one of my best. So great to see you, Giuseppe. All those of you out there, that thumbs up really does help. And if you're new, please do consider hitting that sub button, getting your friends in here for the chat, getting it live. Obviously, during the season, it's way more live. We're used to 50 to 100 of you live and 200-ish questions on a Thursday. So get that action. We'll get there. But yeah, we want to keep it rolling. So the schedule moving forward, Truth, we're thinking Wednesdays, whether it's at 4:20 or whether it's in the afternoon, late, like 7 o'clock, we keep steady. We'll figure that out. But I think we're thinking Wednesdays, this kind of vibe. And then Thursdays will be a real structured topic, a usual fullback dive, the hard hitting, actually giving you the analysis. Whereas this is the free flow. Let's see what pops up. I'd love to keep them both because I think that's where we ran into the issues last time, Truth, is we tried to keep these. We try to do both at once. I like the free flow. I like the combo. Like let the topics kind of dictate themselves.
Free flow is way better for this.
Sweet. We probably should have said we're very good about this, but that's why we're not here just to promote things. We love Underdog though. We'd love to promote it, and we'd love you to support your boys. If you haven't tried it, do click the link in the description or download the app. Use code RSJ up to $100 match. It is truly, as you guys can see, we do these so often because we love them. They're so fun every single time. It's the best part of fantasy, just drafting. Code RSJ, link in description. If you haven't played Underdog, best place to play. You also get a shot at 3 million. I mean, how often in life can you give yourself a shot at 3 million? Not very often.
As often as you can sign up for these things.
Not for $25 at least. So yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, well, this was fun. It's always fun drafting, Truth. I think we've got an A- and a B+ so far. Let's keep it rolling. Let's be millionaires by the end of this offseason, huh?
I would really enjoy that.
That would be lovely. All righty, Wolfpack. Well, cheers. RotoStreetJournal.com. Be on the lookout. I'm promising by this weekend, best ball rankings up for you guys. Nice. Promise by this weekend. Maybe by tomorrow. We'll see. But in a world for fantasy sheep, be the Wolf guys. Later.